This is Maginoni, and here's my review for 3 of the Marvel books that came out. We have Avengers number 2, Thor number 3, and All New X-Men number 4. I'm just going to start with this. What we have is a standoff between the old and the new X-Men, and Bendis does a really great job at the way they react towards each other, and Stewart's artwork is just amazing. So it basically just works off of each other in such a way that it really sets a tone of this first encounter. Also, if you remember from the last episode, Jean Grey has started her psychic powers where she can read minds, and now she's getting the flood of everything. So she's hearing everything that Cyclops is saying, and it's freaking her out, especially when she confirmed that, yeah, he's the one who killed him. And when you top that with he's standing side by side with Magneto, they don't know what to do. They're confused, and there's serious issues that they know that they're gonna have to deal with. Now, I think the artist, like I said, the art is fantastic. I love how the old Cyclops has that thin beam, and the modern day Cyclops, his eye beam is like totally different. And like Cyclops is going through some issues right now with his optic blast, and I think part of this is reflective of that, and I think it's a really good way to show, in a sense, where these people are at. And I said everything. This whole first encounter is just simply fantastic. Now, there are other moments in this book which are really strong. You have Jean Grey's mental breakdown because, like later on, there's a flood of TMI of all her her teammates just data dumping her with their thoughts. You have Cyclops meeting the young Jean, and he's like, it's bringing all of his feelings back. You have Emma, who's like, well, this isn't good, because while she hates Scott right now, that's his old love. And where does she fit into all of this? On top of that, you still have the old X-Men with the new X-Men. You have Iceman freaking out every time he sees his young self, and what's going to happen with Hank. I think overall, Bendis is doing a fantastic job, and I was going to write this book off. I really was. But he's really hitting it on all parts. And this is actually, I think, one of the strongest Marvel Now books, at least so far. And this is one of the books I look forward to, and it's always a pleasure to read this one. Okay, Thor, God of Thunder. Jason Aaron is making Thor very fun and exciting to read. And I think this could be in part because we've had so many bad Thor stories. Now, this is going back to a lot of different time periods again. You have future Thor fighting the God Killer, you have past Thor fighting the God Killer, and you have modern time where he's still trying to track down this killer. And he learns that, or not really learns, but he's really coming out and saying that all of the gods who have died, it's because of what he did. And this is the first time Thor has ever shown like true fear. And it's like, so this entire run has just been fantastic. The art is just it's top notch. It fits, I think, the overall story, and we're seeing a different type of Thor that we haven't seen in a long time, because normally Thor is very arrogant, and now we're seeing a Thor who is arrogant, but yet he's stepped that down a little bit. You see some interactions with other gods, and mostly the gods are dead, but it kind of gives you an idea that there was more going on in the universe than just Zeus and Odin, and the occasional god war that would pop up type thing. And overall, I mean, it's really good. I mean, there's even a nice little story about young Thor going to this place of knowledge with books and history, and how he abused the librarian. Overall, stellar read, and this is definitely going to be tradable. And if you haven't started buying Thor, I'm sure your comic book store still have issue 1 and 2 on the shelf. Buy it. Do yourself a favor and buy it, because this is a solid read. And finally, Avengers number 2. We learn who people are, finally. And we learn a lot more about the villain, what his intentions are, his background. And I don't know, personally, I'm kind of on the fence with this guy, because on one hand, Remender has created a really potentially epically powerful villain. But at the same time, he's creating a villain who's so powerful that how lasting can he be? He can't be like a Doctor Doom or Magneto type character. The Avengers already have Ultron. And I understand that you have, based on what they're trying to, the concept that they're trying to do here, you really do need to have this epic evil. But personally, I think what I would have preferred to see is a build-up over time. Where, okay, yeah, this guy over here is powerful, but he's a herald to something else, and that something else is the herald to whatever's coming. And I think, in a sense, that's the kind of build-up I'd rather have seen, rather than, boom, here he is. That aside, I think this is still a good read overall. We do get a lot of information of Steve and Tony planning, getting their team together, and we get to see some recruitment. Now, I'm really tired of the recruitment pages, because I think in most cases it's just a truly waste of time. But Remender really put some funny moments in here. Like with Wolverine, all they have to do is tell Wolverine there's beer and he's on board. Spider-Man, there's money, and he's like hugging, Tony, going thank you. Now, granted, this is a little bit out of character with the big time Spider-Man, and because of the when he was working for Horizon, he was making a lot of cash, so that's a little out of place. But if you look in the traditional sense of Spider-Man, dead on. They're offering Falcon Bird Seed. Shang-Chi is going to be getting an upgrade. You have Sunspot and Cannonball on the Beach retired, and they're basically telling Wolverine to F off. But the minute Captain America comes on the phone, Sunspot's like, oh, wait a second, we're calling. So there's like all this types of things that are going on, and I think that this recruitment was a little bit different than others. And I don't know about you guys, but when we got to Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel and Spider-Woman, there's just something about the way they're drawing Captain Marvel now, and this picture here, something's off. I don't know what it is, but something's a bit off about that, especially when they're together. I don't know what it is, but other than that, I think this is definitely going in the right direction. And I think I can't believe I said Remender. This is Hickman. I was thinking of the other one. Hickman, I think what he's doing is he's building what we have here is a building block, and it's just going to take a little bit of time for everything to develop. Like if you look at what Hickman was doing with the Fantastic Four, it's the same thing. They were taking a little bit of time to build it up, and then bang, we got this amazing story. And I think this is what we're seeing right here. So overall, I'm very, very, very pleased with it. And there's also little bits of detail that I also liked. Like the interaction with Thor. And later on, there's a panel where they show, they're still captured, but then the hammer on the ground, and the ground's all cracked, to give you the sense of weight. And I think that, it's the little things that Apna or Pena has done. And while I don't think that this artwork fits a the top tier book, I think overall, it's still very solid art. It's just a shame. Well, hopefully, my hope is that more people buy the book. It elevates this kind of storytelling, and it gives other people who have a different kind of artistic talent a break compared to the Finches and the Kuberts. And that's not to say that they're not bad. It's just like their style is very similar, and it's very at times cooker cutterish. Meaning the way they do their panels, the way they do their muscles and things like that. And it takes other artists like these guys that basically give you something outside the box. Especially like when you look at what's going on with Thor, it's different, and it's like this is the type of draw that I have towards these types of books, is something a little bit different. Um, anyways, I'm rambling. So if you have any comments or questions, let me know. Rate the video up or down. Let me know what you think. I'll have more reviews later. Don't forget. Oh, I gotta give you a code. Don't forget, I'm gonna be doing that thing with Crunchyroll, so that's gonna take up some of my time, or actually, it'll take up a lot of my time. But I don't plan on stopping videos or anything like that. I'll give you guys Thor. And don't forget, I'll post this stuff on my Facebook page too, so you'll get codes there too. And watch for my history of Marvel stuff. I'm planning on doing for sure X-Men Inferno. I have a couple other things planned. One's going to be a little bit more complicated than the other one. So that one I'm hoping to work on that over the Christmas break. So anyways, that's all for now. Till next time, don't forget to like the Facebook link.